So welcome, everybody. Purpose of this session is to repeat a session that we delivered at the IAGA annual meeting a couple of weeks ago, which was a terrific event, 300 people, lots of positive energy and ideas and sharing and so forth. And of course, we always appreciate the opportunity to participate at the IAGA. The purpose of this session is to help people recognize that we're not just the tournament management folks. I think the world kind of sees Golf Genius as tournament management. Of course, that is what we started with and have done for many years, and it remains the most important part of our business. But the reality is, in the last few years, we've started to grow into different areas where we're helping to power the game in a variety of ways. So what we want to do today is share the bigger picture of Golf Genius in the spirit of sharing information with associations and finding ways that we can work together in the future, finding additional ways that we can work together in the future. So we're going to use this picture throughout this presentation. It's the way we think of our business across different verticals. We have the tournament management vertical, where we have our club premium and association products that are used quite widely. We also power handicapping and GIN with the USGA, work very closely with the USGA to be the development and hosting provider of GIN and handicapping. We have a golf shop operational product. We're not going to talk too much about that today, but that is part of our product portfolio. In the coaching space, we acquired Operation 36 about 3 years ago. We believe in the mission. We wanted to help them go faster. We're going to talk more about Operation 36 today. We've also in the last year, acquired a product called Coach Now, which we've combined with some other work we've been doing for the last 2+ years in the coaching space to develop a holistic toolbox for instructors and coaches, whether they're individual coaches or teams of coaches. In the B2C space, we acquired Golfshot and SwingU this year. We're going to talk more about that over the course of this presentation. We also have our core trip manager product. Back 15 years ago when the company was founded, that was the original mission of the company, a great product for folks who are running trips. We also now have a fantasy golf mobile app and experience through a product called Waggle. I know some folks are interested in hearing more about Twilight, which is our managed service for leagues at public courses. And we have Golf Hub, which is a terrific way for clubs to courses and clubs to publish the publicly accessible leagues and events at their facility. So we're going to talk about many of these things, not all of them. But again, we're going to come back to this picture repeatedly, just sort of as a map to reorient ourselves and see the bigger picture. We'll start with tournament management. I'll just mention a few things. We won't spend a lot of time on this. At a very high level, we think of our TM business by segment, starting with consumer trips and leagues, which was the origin of the business back in 2009, expanding in 2016, 2017, when we began our relationship with the USGA, where we're now in over 10,000 clubs and courses, and in fact, in over 60 countries powering tournament management. We also then expanded into regional associations, including AGAs, PGA sections. In Canada, we work with the provinces, the provincial associations. In the UK, we work with the counties and others like that in other markets around the world. And at the national level, the USGA, the PGA of America, the IAGA, and many national golf federations use Golf Genius to run their tournament schedule, their full schedule of tournaments each year. So that's a very big picture of the TM product. One of the things we want people to be aware of, because we think it's really important, is our work here in the last 4 years on our certification program. So starting in 2020, we built out a certification program for the tournament management product, which is structured in 3 levels and typically requires over 100 hours of time and effort to get through this process. In other words, it's not a rubber stamp, it's a legitimate process that requires learning and demonstration that you've achieved a certain level of know-how and expertise with the tournament management product. So far, 154 people have made it through the full certification process. That number is accelerating just in the last year. 54 people completed all 3 levels or got through all 3 levels, and we expect that to continue to accelerate. At the moment, there's nearly 700 people in the program making their way through one of the levels. And we've worked hard over the last several years to incorporate the certification program into the PGM programs at universities all over the United States, including 3 outside of the United States. So out of those 700 people that are currently in flight in the certification program, About half of them are in these PGM programs around the country. And in addition to PGM programs, we also have AGAs who've participated in this program. So the PGM program is very important because when these young men and women come out of college, at the age of 21 or 22, they already have practical experience that they can put on their resume saying that they are Golf Genius certified, either at level 1 or perhaps all 3 levels, depending on how deep the program is at their PGM location. But the idea is we're preparing them with skills for the workplace and making them assets to the facilities that hire them. So we believe over the years this will continue to churn out folks that really know how to use this toolbox and can hit the ground running when they land at a golf facility, public or private, and already have this skill set that's expected of them as they come into the workforce. I mentioned a couple of integrations that we're working on with our tournament management product. The first is Players First. For those who aren't familiar with it, Players First is basically a survey tool or a customer experience management tool focused on golf. They started outside of the US. They're a European company they've managed to build out their business outside of the US with over 2,000 associations, federations, and clubs. And they've started to work here in the US in the last 2 or 3 years. They've already worked with several AGAs. But the idea is to run surveys and send surveys to people who've participated in tournaments that you operate. And you want to see how what their feedback is across different dimensions. For example, how do they feel about the golf course or the condition of the course or the price and the value of the experience that you offered them, or the F&B, the hospitality, the location, and so forth. So a standardized survey out of the box that makes it really easy after all the shots have been hit. Of course, you have the roster of those players in Golf Genius. Just make it really easy to hit a button, get that survey out to those folks, and start collecting feedback, which then comes back in a way that's very easy for you to analyze, draw some conclusions, and decide where you want to focus your attention going forward as you continue the never-ending process of continuous improvement in your own tournament operations. So through a partnership with Players First, they offer a free trial to any users of Golf Genius at the association level. And that free trial includes up to 3 tournament surveys. And if you want to explore that, just let us know and we'll put you in touch with the folks at Players First. We're also building an integration with HubSpot. The background on HubSpot is that many AGAs at this point, probably 15 or 20 AGAs, have adopted HubSpot. Some are further along the journey than others. Many AGAs are recognizing there's a lot of value in using HubSpot to manage their email communications, their workflows, and other parts of their operation. GiN has had an integration with HubSpot for a couple of years now. Our team built that. Again, we power GiN, and our team built the integration between GiN and HubSpot. And we know that some of the AGAs who use HubSpot are already manually pushing data out of tournament management into HubSpot. It typically looks like, going into an event in Golf Genius, exporting the roster to a spreadsheet, and then uploading that spreadsheet after scrubbing it and enriching it a bit, uploading it into HubSpot in a way that allows HubSpot to capture that event participation data, which can then be used to drive future email campaigns or other customer journeys that are managed in HubSpot. So to eliminate that manual process, we're now developing an integration that would allow you to go into Golf Genius, go into an event, go down to the roster, the event roster, and click a button to push the roster directly from TM over to your HubSpot account. We're right in the middle of developing that. Our expectation is to complete the development by the end of this year and deploy that to the community. And we would stress that we see this as the first integration between TM and HubSpot, and we'll look to expand this in the future based on further discussions with the AGA community and identifying what are the useful ways that we can better streamline and integrate data between Golf Genius and HubSpot, Golf Genius, GiN, Golf Genius, GiN, and HubSpot, all 3 sort of triangulating and figuring out how do we allow data to move back and forth between those 3 products. So back to our picture. Again, we talked briefly about tournament management. Don't want to spend too much time on that. Really want to talk about other things today. So the next topic will be Golf Hub. So what is Golf Hub? You've heard us talk about this now for maybe 2+ years. Many of you have heard us talk about it. At a high level, Golf Hub enables clubs to publish events and leagues into public and private hubs, which makes it possible for golfers to search, find, register, pay, and review the tournament results online. So let's dive into that a little bit more. So some of the use cases include private clubs who, generally speaking, don't want to publish their member events to the public, but they may be running outside outings on Mondays that they would like to publish and expose to the general public to drive participation and registration as a value they provide to the folks that are running those tournaments. At public courses, we would expect that all public courses would like to publish their events and leagues to drive additional play at their facility. And then there's the idea of corporate and charity outings who may want to publicize their own events directly to the public. So what does this look like? So we're going to go through a series of product images here and screenshots to give you an idea of what Golf Hub is all about. What you're looking at here is a single page published by Sugar Mill Country Club promoting a particular 9-hole event. Sugar Mill was able to upload this good-looking banner image. They were able to control the description, add a schedule there, which is an optional element, and turn on registration. So you can see there's a register button here that would enable a registration process that prompts the user to add their information, their name, their email address, selecting what registration options they want, 1 golfer, 2 golfers, and so forth, leading to an online secure payment process where the golfer can pay for their registration and complete the process. So again, a great looking landing page for each event and league. So if we imagine Sugar Mill was a public facility or a private club, they may have many events or leagues they want to publish. Even in the case of a private club, they might want to use this to publish these events in a private hub just to their members. So every operator, whether they're using the TM Club product, which is provided by AGAs to clubs all over the country, or the Club Premium product, has the ability to create great looking pages like this, along with the optional ability to enable online registration and payments. You also notice at the bottom, there's a carousel of other events at that club. So it's a great way not only to showcase individual events, but also share other events going on at the club. Now, with that in mind, each of those events also goes into what we call the Club Hub. So what we're now looking at is Sugar Mill Country Club's Club Hub, which automatically aggregates all of the pages, all of the events and leagues that have been published at that facility. And again, this could be a private hub shared just with the members, or a public hub that's visible to the general public. One of the big success stories we saw this year with the aggregation of pages is the Idaho Golf Association. So just like clubs can aggregate things that are happening within their community, AGAs, like the Idaho Golf Association and other AGAs around the country, can automatically aggregate all of the events and leagues that have been published publicly by member clubs in their area. The Idaho Golf Association had been publishing a physical book for many years for this exact purpose. And when they saw Golf Hub, they recognized this was an opportunity to move their physical book into a digital online experience, which was something they were looking to do for some time. So what you see here is the aggregated Idaho Golf Hub. They worked with clubs in the Idaho region to publish their leagues and events and share those leagues and events with the mothership so that it could appear here in the Idaho Hub. So what you see in the Idaho Hub is a listing, and this is the actual hub of events that took place this year. So what you see is a listing of events and leagues that were happening at various facilities around Idaho. Now, again, each one of the items you see on here was published by the clubs themselves. So it wasn't Idaho going around and creating these pages. They were simply saying to their member clubs, hey, use your TM Club account, your Golf Genius account, which we have provided to you as a member benefit, and create great looking pages to promote your events, and click one extra box that shares your page with us so we can aggregate it into an Idaho hub and we can showcase all these things, not just in a list, but also in a map so that people can see it in a map, zoom in a little bit further, recognize where they are on the map, and continue to zoom in until they see things happening near them. So overall, in their first year, Idaho had 57 clubs who participated in this, publishing over 200 pages in total. Across those 200 events, 15,000 golfers registered, and it produced $1.2 million in registration revenue to those facilities. Because again, these events are happening at the facility level. They're charging an entry fee, of course, to participate in these events. And essentially what we're doing, what Golf Genius is doing, is providing the tools to make that possible. And what Idaho is doing is sharing those tools, providing those tools to member clubs, and then aggregating the events and leagues into a regional hub to drive people to it. In addition to those regional hubs, at an AGA level, we've also, in the last, about 2 months ago, published a national hub, where you can call it a global hub. So if you were to go into a browser right now and type in golfhub.golfgenius.com, you will see the global golf hub, where anyone can search for publicly available leagues and clinics and then find things that are happening near them. Now, of course, it's still early days, and we're trying to get the word out for clubs to publish their publicly available leagues and events. So the hub has maybe a few hundred things in it now if you were to look at it online today. But what we're trying to accomplish here is have a great looking website that looks, again, you'll see it if you open up a browser and go there now. Great looking website with great imagery that draws people in and makes it easy to find leagues and events near them, and then be able to see the global map, which is what the map looks like today. So again, early days, we expect this to grow quite a bit over the coming months and years. We're also planning now for what we call Golf Hub 2.0. And if we think of the experience in Idaho that I just showed you, where they had a great looking aggregated hub, we're looking to improve that in 2025 with a look and feel like this. So this would replace that top level page that I just showed you a few minutes ago, and replace it with a great looking, localized, branded page. You can see Idaho Golf Association is branded here at the top, powered by Golf Genius, with some authentic local imagery of golf in Idaho, imagery provided by Idaho Golf Association, so we can construct this page. And we can also showcase their partners, Idaho Golf Association partners, at the bottom of this page. So this becomes the next version of Golf Hub, something that, again, is authentically local, in this case to Idaho, and something that draws people in to engage further and look for events and leagues near them. So we're very excited about where the progress we've made with Golf Hub, and we're excited about where it can continue to go as we continue to invest in it. So to recap at a very high level and then move on to the next topic, Golf Hub allows AGAs to deliver value to member clubs in a variety of ways. Number one, it's a way for you to provide online registration and payment capabilities to those member clubs. So again, every member club has access to TM Club because you provide it to them as a member club benefit. And TM Club includes these Golf Hub features, which includes online registration and payment. So by providing it to them, you're helping them eliminate paper, pencil, cash, and checks, and thereby saving them time, which they can use to generate revenue in other ways. For example, by giving more lessons instead of being stuck behind a desk, in the office, trying to manage paper, pencil, cash, and checks. Number two, it allows you to leverage your marketing assets, including your website, your email list, and social media reach, to promote the leagues and events at your member clubs and help drive participation in those events. And finally, you're also delivering value to the golfers, making it easy for them to search, find, register, and pay for events at the clubs in your region. All right, so that's Golf Hub. Again, very excited about where we're going with it, or the progress we've made and where we're going with it. All right, on to Twilight Golf. So what is Twilight? At a high level, in a very simple way, Twilight's a great option for public courses who want the benefit of weeknight 9-hole leagues, but they don't have the time and the people, the staff, to promote, fill, and run the league. Now, what are the benefits of a weeknight 9-hole league for the facility? Well, you bring new people into the facility, hopefully deliver a great experience, and they turn into repeat customers, and they meet friends who they generate relationships with, and together they come back and play that course over and over again in leagues and on weekends and so forth. It's a recreational format. It's open and inviting to all beginners, even though there's a leaderboard and sort of a competitive element to it. Again, it's very open and friendly and inviting to beginners. And again, the Twilight team handles all of the planning, promotion, filling, and running of the league, while the golf course collects the full greens fee and the full cart fee. So this is not a model where we're buying discounted greens fees and cart fees from the course and then, getting a markup as we resell it to golfers. Instead, we're facilitating the league. Those golfers pay full price when they show up. The golfers get a great league experience. The club gets the full revenue that they would normally get. And we create a great league experience that will bring those golfers back week after week for 8 weeks and hopefully get them to sign up again in the next cycle, for example, in the summer or the fall, as they continue to come back and have a good league experience. Twilight this year ran over 700 leagues across 26 states, which comprised over 130,000 rounds, serving over 10,000 golfers. The original format of Twilight was a 4-person team. This is still available. The original format was a 4-person team where you sign up with 3 other buddies, or perhaps you sign up as a single and get paired up with other folks to form a team. You play your own ball. There's no handicapping. Uses Callaway style scoring, where a certain number of your worst scores are thrown out based on your total score. And the team gets an overall score that lands in a leaderboard, and you can see your progress week after week. Last year, we started introducing a second format, doubles, 2-person scramble, otherwise known as better shot. And this year, 30% of all those leagues, 30% of those 700 leagues were operated in a Twilight doubles format. One of the benefits of a doubles format in this context is you get to play, you and your partner who play together every week, get to play with 2 other people every week. So you're sort of maximizing the social benefits of playing in the league. Again, our intent is to offer a mix of these styles of leagues because we recognize different styles attract different golfers. You could even have a situation where on a Tuesday night at a particular course, they run a 4-person format. We call it Twilight Fours, and maybe on a Thursday they run Twilight doubles. Not uncommon to see that sort of approach. This year we ran pilots with 2 AGAs, Florida State and Texas. And it's very simple. It does not require a lot of effort on behalf of the association. Here's how it works. The AGA works with us to identify clubs that meet the Twilight profile, which generally speaking is mid-market, meaning not high-end, expensive public courses in a good location where they're potentially a good population of folks that might want to play in a league. The AGA then initiates contact and introduces the club to Twilight, so a warm introduction so that we're not coming at them from left field. We co-brand those leagues. So for example, in Texas, it was Twilight Golf in partnership with Texas Golf Association. And then from there, it operates as usual. Twilight plans, promotes, fills, and runs the leagues. And Twilight at the end of the league shares the roster with the AGA because we worked in partnership with the AGA in the region to promote the league. And as part of that partnership, we share the roster back with the AGA. So those golfers then go into the top of your funnel where you can communicate with them, market to them, help them understand who the Golf Association is and the opportunities and benefits that you provide through an AGA membership. As we look ahead to 2025, we're looking to expand this pilot and work with other AGAs around the country because we think this is a great option for public courses. And of course, AGAs are always looking for ways to add value and help their clubs. All right, so that's Twilight. We're now going to move on to the coaching vertical and talk about Operation 36. As a way of background, some folks may be familiar with it, but as a way of background, it was founded in 2010, so nearly 15 years ago, by 2 PGA professionals. Their initial focus was on youth golf. How do we teach kids how to play golf? They tried a variety of approaches for a while and landed on their current approach 5 years later in 2014. And their current approach is the idea of learning from the hole backwards and getting on the golf course immediately where the real magic happens. Instead of being stuck on a plastic mat at a driving range, whiffing it, topping it, dragging the next ball over and not understanding if you're getting any better and not gaining the confidence you need to get on the course. This is the opposite. Learn from the hole backwards, get on the course immediately, and have a great experience and grow in your confidence in your journey in golf. We acquired them 2 years ago, again, because we believe in the mission. We wanted to help them go faster. If we think about the problem they're trying to solve, it's the so-called leaky bucket. The National Golf Foundation would say that every year, 2 million people, or 1.5 to 2 million people, play golf on a green grass golf course for the first time, and that a large number of them, 7 out of 10, get frustrated and leave the game, so-called leaky bucket. We have no trouble attracting new golfers. We have a challenge keeping them in the game forever. We would say that this is further amplified by the modern way of learning golf, which is very focused on the full swing. Oftentimes, if you're getting started in golf and someone says, how do I get started? They say, oh, go take a lesson. And the very first thing you're taught is the full swing and the grip and all the mechanical elements of a swing, and your head's full of things. You don't understand if you're getting better. And you need to come back and hit bucket after bucket until you're confident enough to walk to the first tee, where you may be filled with anxiety and don't want to make a fool out of yourself in front of friends or strangers. So we think that the modern approach really focuses on the full swing, and we think there is a better way in terms of learning from the hole backwards. We also were excited that Rory McIlroy developed a video series this year. Rory McIlroy is an investor in Golf Genius, and we have a great relationship with Rory. He really believes in the idea of learning from the hole backwards and the Operation 36 mission. So he took some time to develop a video series that we released earlier this year. Well, I encourage you to check it out. You go to operation36.golf. You know, you're a couple clicks away from seeing those videos, but they're really terrific and a really great example of how we can leverage our relationships to help the mission go faster. So again, there's a better way. Learn from the hole backwards. Get on the course right away and enjoy the magic of golf. We would stress here is that any golf course can be turned into a short course simply by walking up or driving up to the green, starting 25 yards from the hole, dropping your ball, chipping and putting, getting your ball in the hole, writing your score down, going to the next hole, and growing in confidence. Operation 36 itself is a toolbox for the golf professional. So it's a piece of software that allows you to organize and manage these experiences, manage these programs, manage your registration, deliver a mobile app and a curriculum to your golfers so that they're engaged both when they're with you at the course and in between their sessions on the golf course. From there, how does it work? Folks come in weekly classes. These are operated by courses. We don't operate these programs. We provide the software. It's golf professionals and club operators who run these programs using the tools we provide. But the general approach is to bring folks together in a group session. For example, on the left, we see a group of women in a group session. They learn how to chip and putt. They get out on the golf course as soon as possible, like that day, the next day, or within a week. They play 9 holes from level 1, which is 25 yards. And if they can shoot 36 or better from 25 yards, they move to level 2, where their golf professional will start teaching them the next skill they need, like being able to add a hinge, to have a half swing and pitch the ball from 50 yards. And they continue their journey there as they try to shoot 36 from each level and continue on to the full length tee over time. Overall adoption, in 2024, there were 75,000 enrollments in Operation 36 programs around the US and outside the US as well. That's an overall 33% increase in participation, so we're seeing great uptake. One of the great things that we see in Operation 36 is that about half of the participants are adults. When the founders of Operation 36 started their journey, they were very focused on junior golf, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. Over time, as they encountered moms and dads who were bringing their kids to these programs who said, hey, we would love to do this. Would you run it for us too? They said no for a while, and after a while, they said, boy, there's really a demand for adults learning from the hole backwards. So today, nearly half of the participants are adults, and 2/3 of those adults are women. So to the extent that folks are looking for ways to bring women into the game and give them a great experience that turns them into golfers for life and encourages them to share a positive experience with their friends and their family and their children and so forth, this has proven to be a great way to do that. In terms of the revenue that we help facilities capture, if we look across all of the facilities using Operation 36, they captured $22 million of revenue this year. Again, this is not our revenue. This is the revenue they are capturing with the help of our product to run these programs. And they generate on average $28,000 of revenue per facility, paying us $2,700 for a subscription for the software tools that we provide. So the economics work out wonderfully. Again, $28,000 is the average. Many facilities will start out a little bit lower in the first couple of years, and there are many facilities that are way higher than $28,000 of revenue produced for the facility. So again, this program works. The toolbox is incredibly helpful. We're very excited about it. Overall, our goal with Operation 36 is to fix that leaky bucket. And if we're able to fix that leaky bucket and turn our failure rate of 7 out of 10 frustrated golfers who leave the game into something like 6 out of 10 or 5 out of 10 or 4 out of 10, if we can reduce that failure rate, we will be adding hundreds of thousands of sticky golfers for life every year, and thereby sustaining the new normal. There's been a lot of talk these last couple of years of, okay, COVID gave golf a bump. Okay, it's been great for golf. Is it a new normal, or will it go back to the pre-COVID levels? We believe that Operation 36 is going to help to establish a new normal over the next 5, 10, 20 years as we provide a better experience turning beginners into sticky golfers for life. And over time, some portion of those new golfers will get to the stage of their journey where they want a handicap. In other words, this will also drive more handicaps over time, right? And that doesn't mean everyone's going to get a handicap, and that's okay if they don't, as long as they have a positive experience in golf and they associate golf with something they enjoy and something they want to spend time with friends and family doing and something they would encourage others to do. Well, that's good. And even if they don't get to the stage of their journey where they need a handicap, that's okay too. All right, on to that was Operation 36. Now we're going to move on briefly to handicapping and GIN. So very briefly, our role with the USGA is we're the development and hosting provider for U.S. Central Handicapping and GIN. We've been doing this since 2019 when we worked with the USGA to rebuild the handicap system in the U.S. It's a team of 17 developers, again, working very closely with several folks and a team at the USGA who handle product management and customer support and administration and billing and so forth. So we take that role very seriously. We know that the community has been very happy with GIN and the capabilities of that system and the innovation that we continue to deliver to the community in partnership with the USGA. Keep in mind that when we think of GIN, it's every part of GIN. It's central handicapping and the computation, including the World Handicapping System methodology, the admin portal that's used by associations and clubs behind the scenes to administer their communities, the golfer products, including the GIN kiosk, the mobile app, and GIN.com, and a set of APIs that allow over 150 third parties to access GIN and access handicapping to do things like looking up someone's handicap index or posting scores and other sort of common functions that are expected. All right, now on to Golfshot and SwingU. So earlier this year, Golf Genius acquired Golfshot. That was in February. And in May, we acquired SwingU. So to put this into context and why it matters in this story, let me take a step back and zoom out. The NGF would say that there are nearly 13 million golfers in the United States who play golf 8 or more times on a green grass golf course every year. So think about that for a second. 8 or more times. Someone plays golf 8 or more times on a green grass golf course. They're a real golfer. They're spending money. They have friends who are playing and so forth. And 8's the minimum. Some of these folks, of course, play a lot more than 8 rounds. So these are real golfers. We know that 3.4 million of them have a USGA handicap. Okay, and we know we're trying to grow that. That, in fact, has grown. In the last 7 years, that's grown from something like 2.5, 2.6 million to 3.4. So we are improving. But we know that the other 9.2 million are golfers who, again, play 8 or more times on a green grass golf course, but do not have a handicap. Now, we do know, because we've done our own consumer research, that most of these golfers have 1 or more mobile apps in their pocket, golf mobile apps in their pocket. And of course, when they sign up, when they download those mobile apps and sign up, the very first thing they have to do is to provide their email address. In other words, most of these 9.2 million golfers who do not have a handicap are reachable and identifiable through these golf mobile apps. Okay, we also know that the goal of the USGA and the AGA community is to grow the number of golfers with a handicap to 5 million golfers over the next few years, right? So that's the objective. How can we get to 5 million? Well, the good news is you only need to get a small portion of the 9.2 million to achieve that goal. Golfshot and SwingU, on a combined basis of unique golfers, is 5 million unique golfers in the United States. Now, these are folks who downloaded a golf app on their phone. So we know they were serious about golf. They went out of their way to download a golf app. And we know that 85% of them do not have a handicap index. So you can see here just through this illustration that this audience of 5 million golfers, which is now addressable through our acquisition of Golfshot and SwingU, can be a huge driver in achieving this goal of increasing the number of golfers with a handicap from 3.4 million to 5 million golfers. So shortly after we acquired Golfshot, we started working with the USGA to drive awareness of handicap indexes and make it easy for golfers to get their handicap, get a handicap index. So what are the vectors we're talking about here? We're talking about sending emails through email campaigns, periodic newsletters, and blending these messages into the mobile app experience. I'm going to go through a series of screenshots here to show you what I mean, because it's much easier to see it than to just talk about it in words. The first here is an email that was sent to all Golfshot users, a large database, several million golfers. From this email, which is a very simple email, you can see it's Golfshot branded on the top. There's some other messaging from the USGA here at the bottom, but it's a very simple message. We encourage you to join the community of over 3 million golfers in the United States who have a handicap index. It's easy. Click here to get your handicap index. And if you're not sure what a handicap index is, because many people aren't, you get a little explanation at the bottom. Regardless of age or skill level, a handicap index is the universal measure of playing ability. Allows you to compete against golfers of all abilities and makes you a member of your local allied golf association, giving you access to a variety of valuable benefits. So 450,000 opens, right? So 450,000 people saw this message. 17,000 people clicked the Get Your Handicap button. We also send an email to new Golfshot users. So after someone downloads the Golfshot app and registers, they get an introduction email from Golfshot. It looks like this on the left-hand side. It's got various shelves. It's talking about the Golfshot product and different capabilities. And the second shelf on that email is now focused on driving awareness of handicap indexes. Say basically a very similar message. Hey, what is a handicap index? How do I learn more, right? And where I forgot to mention, sorry, I need to go back. I forgot to mention something very important. When someone clicks these buttons, where do we take them? We take them to the USGA Get a Handicap page, sometimes called the GC page, USGA GC page, that acts as the single top of funnel that allows someone to get a handicap. They see what the cost is based on their location in the United States, and allows them to complete the purchase of their handicap. So we're driving them to that single top of funnel by simply sending them an email or sending them a newsletter with a button. And I'll show you some other ways that we do this in a second. But all of these calls to action are trying to push people to the USGA GC page to get a handicap. Here's another email that we send to folks. This is an email that we send after they capture 3 rounds or 5 rounds or 10 rounds in Golfshot. So they get an email like this that says, hey, you finished capturing 3 rounds in Golfshot. You're eligible for a handicap index. It's easy to sign up. Click here. And again, if they're not sure what a handicap index is, we explain it a little bit more on the bottom of this page, once again reinforcing that AGA member benefits are part of the value proposition. This one, we've gotten a 50% open rate so far, which is over 40,000 opens and 5,000 clicks, taking people to the USGA GC page. We also send a newsletter periodically to all Golfshot users. So this goes to the entire database once or twice a month, I believe, and it touches on a variety of things. And again, high on the page, there's a shelf that now focuses on Get Your Handicap Index with a button that takes them to the USGA GC page. And finally, and this is very powerful, it's been blended into the Golfshot experience itself. So what you see here is the homepage of the Golfshot app. This is what all users of the Golfshot app see. So they log in, and prominently highlighted on the main page is a button that says unlock your handicap index. If they click that, they get to another page that recognizes, well, they might already have one. So if they already have one, we'll let you link your handicap index to your Golfshot experience. And if you don't, click the Get Your Handicap Index button, which will, in your phone, take you to the USGA GC page. So from the user's perspective, this will look like they're sort of still in the app. What actually happened is we opened up a browser in their phone and jumped over to the browser. And we went to the USGA GC page where they can go through the USGA flow of selecting their state, their zip code, seeing a price, and completing the purchase of a handicap index. This was rolled out in August. So far, we've had 70,000 clicks from the app into the GC flow. And we've captured, this number is a little dated now, it's probably more like 1,000, but we've captured, let's call it 800 to 1,000 purchases. Now that's not a ton in the grand scheme of things, 1,000 handicaps when we're trying to get to 5 million and we're trying to add 1.6 million. But of course, this is just a start. And the more and more often we deliver this message and reinforce this message of get a handicap index. What is a handicap index? How do I get one? You know, what does it allow me to do? What benefits does it provide? The more we repeat this message, the more it will sink into people's psyche, and the more we will drive handicap adoption over time. Looking ahead, we have some more work to do. We're going to make that in-app experience that I just showed you more native, so it doesn't feel like you're jumping out to a browser. And we're going to try to eliminate some screens and just sort of reduce the friction and ultimately try to drive more purchases. And make the whole process a bit smoother. And on the SwingU side, I haven't mentioned anything about SwingU here, but on the SwingU side, we're going to repeat all the things that we just showed you in Golfshot. We're going to repeat all those things with SwingU for all the same reasons and capturing all the same benefits. All right, that's Golfshot and SwingU. Lastly, we'll talk about a pathway to a national league, which is a project we've been working on. So as way of background, in Canada, Canada is now completing the second year of their national league. They've been thinking about this for years, and we play a supporting role in this. And we've been working with the folks in in Canada, at Golf Canada and the provinces on this idea for a while. We're sort of the glue that the clubs use to run the leagues and then pump the results up into a national league structure. So we're part of this process. This year, over 100 clubs participated in Canada. It's important to understand that in Canada, they have a very mature league culture in general at clubs. Every club runs one or more leagues. They tend to be very team-oriented, where maybe there's 20 people on a team, and every week a certain number of them show up, and maybe they count 8 net scores and 3 gross scores, and it goes into a team score, and then that rolls up week after week over the course of the season. Again, a very mature league culture in Canada. Rather than, this is something that Golf Canada concluded, they decided, and this was a long journey. It took them several years to sort of figure this out. Rather than ask clubs to run a brand new league and figure out how to fit it into a busy schedule, they said, here's what you should do. Just take your existing season-long league and pick 6 weeks out of your 12-week or 15-week or 18-week season. Pick 6 weeks and designate them as qualifying weeks for the National League. So that, of course, that makes it a lot easier for clubs to adopt, and over 100 clubs participated this year. At the end of those club level leagues, they identify their winners. Those are individual leagues, by the way, so it's players playing their own ball, even though they might be playing in a larger team. So those individual winners of the leagues advance to the regional qualifier. And at the regional level, they're asked to invite a partner. So bring a buddy. Now, your buddy didn't have to qualify. Your buddy didn't have to win the league. Your buddy might not even played in the league, right? But at the regional level, they're trying to form a partner format with players playing better ball. And at the national level, the regional winners advance to the national level, and they again continue with that better ball format. So it's individual play at the club level in leagues, advancing to regional and national levels, which are better ball format. What about the United States? What would we need to create a league at the national level in the United States? Well, we certainly need a consistent format that can be played across different clubs. It should be appealing to players of all abilities so that it's not about the best of the best. It should be easy to participate. And of course, it has to connect club level leagues to a regional and national structure. So as way of background, I mentioned earlier in this presentation that we've been working with doubles and incorporating doubles into our Twilight leagues at public courses around the country now, and we're in our second year of that. So we believe that doubles golf is the right format, the perfect format to drive a national league. If you're not familiar with doubles golf, it was co-founded by Jack Nicklaus along with the inventor of Junior League. It's also known as Better Shot, again, a two-person scramble. It's recognized as an official format of golf in the USGA rules of golf. And of course, two-person scramble scores are not postable scores from a handicap standpoint. It's a different style of golf that's oriented more towards, more fun, lower scores, better pace of play, recreational, with other benefits. And it's organized into categories and flights. So the leagues that are organized and operated at clubs are 9-hole rounds in multi-week leagues organized into 4 categories: men, women, mixed, and senior, across 3 flights based on the ability and the scores created by those teams. So 3 flights, A, B, and C. And again, it's already been incorporated into Twilight Golf, so we're familiar with it. One of the great benefits of doubles is that it both brings women into the game, more women into the game, because it's a friendlier format where, hey, if I hit a bad shot, my buddy probably hit a better shot. I can pick up my ball. We can go down the middle of the fairway and hit our next shot. And if we both hit a bad shot, well, we can giggle about it, and because we're partners in crime. It also extends the golfing life of seniors who may be going away from the game because they don't feel like they hit it as far as they used to, and they can't score like they used to. Well, if they can buddy up with someone who can hit it a little bit further, they can still make contributions from 150 yards and in, or chipping and putting, and feel like they're still part of the game of golf. Very important. We worked with the USGA going back to last year. So USGA very supportive of this idea, likes the format. Again, it's an established, recognized format in the rules of golf, and they encouraged us to explore it further at the grassroots level. They understand that we were already doing this with our Twilight Golf offering as well. So we reached out to AGAs in Ohio and in Colorado. We ran pilot programs this year where those AGAs encourage clubs to participate by sending them a message, something like this. This is an example from Colorado Golf Association to their clubs, which they sent back in February and March, that basically says, hey, there's no national league in the US today, but we're working on it. That, Colorado Golf, together with Doubles Golf and Jack Nicklaus, are collaborating to develop a pathway that connects club level leagues in Colorado to a state championship and a national championship across categories for men, women, mixed, and seniors, and that your facility is invited to participate, and along with some other information about what is it, two-player teams, 9-hole rounds, and so forth. So that pilot was successful this year. The clubs who participated operated leagues in 1 or more categories across A, B, and C flights. The winning teams at the A and B level from each of those clubs and in each category advanced to a state championship. At the state level, the Ohio State Doubles Championship was held at Muirfield Village, which was pretty cool, right? And the reason it was held at Muirfield Village is because Jack Nicklaus is a co-founder of Doubles Golf, and he helped facilitate Muirfield Village hosting the Ohio State Doubles Championship, of course, in conjunction with the 4 AGAs in Ohio. Steve Jurek on the call with us today at Miami Valley is one of them. And we had a great first-year pilot in Ohio. In Colorado, the state championship was operated at Common Ground, which is the public facility that Colorado Golf Association operates. So again, the winning A and B teams made it to the state championship. So if you won at your club level in the A or B level, you made it to the state championship. The winning A and B teams at the state championship are crowned state champions. And the winning A teams from those state championships advanced to the national championship, which was held about 2 or 3 weeks ago at Bears Club in West Palm Beach, which is Jack Nicklaus's home club in Ohio. Sorry, in Florida. So that was a big success as well. Not shown here is that the winning team in the men's category at the national championship was a team that started their pathway playing in a Twilight doubles league at a public course in New Jersey. So they went all the way from playing Twilight doubles at a public course in New Jersey to playing in a regional championship in the New Jersey area to the national championship at Jack's Club, where they won the men's doubles national doubles championship. So pretty cool journey. We got some images here. This was Muirfield Village, folks warming up on the range, folks holing out on the iconic 18th hole with the leaderboard, the memorial leaderboard in the background. Taking a photo. For many of these folks, this would be the only chance they had to play at Muirfield. So they're, taking a photo. They probably have this framed on their wall or on their desk at home. Other photos here. This is the winning women's team in Ohio, obviously excited about their experience at Muirfield and their experience playing doubles at a state championship level. Again, there's a mixed category in Colorado. The Colorado Golf Association is very excited about the benefits of doubles golf for mixed teams at the club level, at the regional level, and moving on to the national championship. And it's very possible that this could be a terrific format for the mixed category, which can sometimes be difficult to develop great leagues with great culture that has the right mix of fun and recreation and competition and so forth. But we think doubles is a great format for mixed. And again, a lot of great experiences leading to the opportunity to win your state championship and move on to the national championship. So looking ahead, we're looking to expand the pilot to other AGAs in 2025. We've already reached out to several AGAs and we have some interest here. And again, we may focus in some of those as we expand the pilot into other regions around the country. One of the things we're thinking about is focusing quite a bit on mixed leagues, at least to start, because we think there's an unmet need there. And if we can have a success with mixed leagues in some of these regions, we can grow it, not just for the benefit of mixed competition, but also growing into those other formats over time. So to recap, I'll come back to the picture. Again, the purpose of this presentation was to share all the things that we're doing, or many of the things, the big picture of Golf Genius. Some of this you may not be aware of, and our goal was to share this information so that we can connect dots and find new ways to work together in the future. So with that, I will open the floor to any questions. Feel free to come off mute with your questions. Was this useful, folks, to see some of these things? Was anything new here?
Chris, couple comments in the chat or questions. Okay. One that I'm working on getting the answer, but maybe in Canada, are we doing the same type of promotion of a Golf Canada handicap as we are with GIN?
We aren't, largely because we do not manage, we're not part of managing handicaps in Canada. But it's not out of the question. It's something we could consider.
Thanks, Chris. I was the one who put that question in. I'm up in British Columbia. You did mention this was being recorded. We have some people at our zone level within BC who I think this would be valuable for. Will I be able to get a copy of that recording to send it out to them?
Absolutely, Tyler. Thank you for asking that. What we're going to do is, yes, we're going to share this recording with the folks at IAGA, and they're gonna share it with all IAGA members. So yes, you will absolutely get this.
Awesome. Thank you, and appreciate all the information today.
Tyler, any perspective on that National League in Canada? Do you see that happening in BC? Has it been successful?
I was actually one of the people who ran one of the provincial final events in the interior of British Columbia. And yeah, it was a great day. It was very successful. People seemed to have a good time. We had them play a course called Tobiano. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, but it's one of our better golf courses in British Columbia, a beautiful resort style golf course. And a lot of these people from around the province had never been there before. So they all enjoyed that experience. And yeah, I think there's still ways that we're ironing it out a little bit, and it'll continue to improve over the years, but definitely a positive program, especially for that recreational golfer.
That's terrific. What do you think about this idea of doubles? I know it's a different format. And again, we totally get that the league culture in Canada, as I said earlier, is a very mature thing. We're very close to that league culture through our Golf Genius tournament management product. What do you think about that doubles format?
Yeah, we don't do that in Canada, or in British Columbia, at least that I know of, regularly. And the club that I'm a member at does not do that either. But I am always open to new suggestions, new ideas, and I see the value, especially like you mentioned, for senior golfers, for female golfers, and then also for maybe that golfer who's played for a year or two, who wants to play with their buddy who's a scratch player, and it's a good way to get them all involved together. So
Absolutely.
definitely something that I'm going to keep my eye on.
Great. Thanks, Tyler.
Cheers.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up here. Appreciate your time and your attention. Again, hopefully we shared some information here with you that gives you a bigger picture of Golf Genius, and hopefully we can find other ways to work together in the future. Thanks, everyone.